Hello, third grade. I'm going to go over with you what we learned during our live session earlier today. So we watched this video called Fiction versus Nonfiction. This was our huge discussion today. What is the difference and how do we know? So we're going to watch this video, and as you're watching this video, I want you to think to yourself, what is the difference and how do I know?
Welcome to the library. Go ahead and take a seat and get comfortable. I got a story for you. Once upon a time, there was an author who wrote lots of books and had much to offer. She wrote both types, fiction and nonfiction. You don't know the difference? Well, come on, listen. Fiction is made up, it's false, not true. It's make-believe, that means there is not proof. Now, it can sound true, it can even have facts, but it's from the imagination. We'll leave it at that. Okay. Now, nonfiction is based on facts and true things that have really happened. It's informative, full of information. Nonfiction can help you with your education. An author of both. As you can tell, she wrote a nonfiction book about the Liberty Bell, and then wrote a story about living on the moon, which is fiction for now, but who knows, maybe soon. Let me tell you a story. Yup, I'ma tell you a tale. Something that's nonfiction. Yeah, and that means that it's real. Now you tell me a story. Right, it doesn't have to be true. Okay, yeah, it can be fiction. And the author is you. One day the author picked up a pen and started writing a story. Where to begin? Should it be fiction, a story, a tale, or nonfiction? Something that is real. A tiger who could talk, what would that be? Fiction! The life story of an athlete. Nonfiction! A book about snakes and what they eat. Nonfiction! A tale of a polar bear that could make beats. Fiction! The story of the first man in space. Nonfiction! Harry Potter in that Hogwarts place is. Fiction! Now you get the point, I think you understand. A book about the pyramids sitting in the sand, or any other book that is all about facts, is nonfiction, no doubt about that. But a book that tells a story like Winnie the Pooh that isn't true, that's fiction, yep, but you already knew. Let me tell you a story, yup, I'ma tell you a tale. Something that's nonfiction, yeah, and that means that it's real. Now you tell me a story. Right, it doesn't have to be true. Okay, yeah, it can be fiction, and the author is you. Alright, well, thank everybody for coming out to the library and listening to my story. I hope everybody out there is inspired to write a little story of your own, whether it's fiction or nonfiction. Now that you know the difference, so go ahead and pick up a pen, a pencil, a keyboard, whatever you use, and write something.
All right. What a great video. So what is the difference between fiction and nonfiction? So your classmates, we all came up with a T-chart that separated fiction and nonfiction. And we said fiction was fake, not true, fantasy, tales, stories, imagination, table of contents, but only for chapter books sometimes. Then nonfiction we said was real, had text features, index, glossary, informative. You can learn about real life things, table of contents showing where to find information, and can tell you stories about real events and people. Those are the big differences. Then we went on the ARC bookshelf because for your assignment, you have to do this. For read, you have to pick a book from the ARC bookshelf, read it, and tell me if it was fiction or nonfiction, and how do you know? And you're going to come down here, and you are going to tell me if it was fiction or nonfiction in a discussion or written. And you can see some of your classmates have already responded. Now, we're going to go to the ARC bookshelf. I'm going to remind you how to get there. So you're going to go to homeroom, which is in courses. And down at the bottom, you're going to see a button that says Clever. You're going to hit that button, and it's going to take you right to the ARC library. And I'm going to show you a book I found. And I think you're going to really, really like it. There's the ARC bookshelf. And I'm going to go back so I can show you that. It looks like this. If you're not familiar, which you should be because we've used it before, ARC bookshelf. You're going to click on that. It's going to take you here. And we experimented with these colors. And we tried to find our best fit book. Remember we talked about that? So I want you to go where you will find, your best fit book. Remember, books fit like shoe sizes. You got to find one just for you. And I want you to pick a book, any book, read it, and then tell me if it's fiction or nonfiction. And how do you know? So I picked this book, The Megalodon, and we went through this and we read it because we're learning about dinosaurs and historic animals. Megalodon, a giant shark, how megalodons looked, what megalodons did, and the end of the megalodon. And it has a glossary, an index, has internet sites we can look on and find more information. So we looked through this, and the whole time we did a picture walk, I wanted you to think about, was this fiction or nonfiction? And so we found text features like a heading, a giant shark, which is kind of like a subtitle. And it's mostly going to tell you what this is about, what this paragraph is going to be about, or these two sentences, because that's not technically a paragraph. So this tells you about a giant shark, how the megalodon is kind of like a giant shark. We talked about the illustrations. There are some great illustrations in here, like, whoa, look at that. But there was this illustration. Why did the author put that illustration in there? Well, one of our classmates said, well, they wanted to show us how big the megalodon was compared to our animals in the sea, like our humpback whales. And they wanted us to see how big it was. And the megalodons, they ate whales. They hunted for large whales. That's what they ate. And then we explored more of the book. Oh, look at this. Look at that skeleton of a megalodon's jaws. You could fit right in there without a problem. Ooh. We said we wouldn't want to be in the water with that thing. Then we checked out the glossary and the internet sites. We came up with questions, too. We used the strategy we talked about the other day because of this statement. Show you. I believe it was this one. No one knows why they all died. So we were like, why did they die? We're going to have to do more research on that. And some of us already got started. So I'm going to inspire you to go out and find some research on that. Why did the megalodon die? All right. That's what we did today. And we are going to make sure our assignments are done in our reading. Remember, you have to read a book on your own in the ARC bookshelf and tell me if it was fiction or nonfiction and why. And then also you have a fiction and nonfiction sort on Friday as well. That's right above the read. And I went ahead and put that chart in there for you. It's right here. It's called Fiction versus Nonfiction Sort. And in this, you're going to have book titles to read through. And then you have to sort them. I put them all in the middle, and then you have to sort them. You have to tell me whether or not it's fiction or nonfiction. Like Bones, the Human Body Handbook. Would that be a fiction or nonfiction book? You tell me. What about The Haunted Tree? Would that be fiction or nonfiction? What about The Missing Candy Mystery? The Big Book of Bats. So you have to sort them. That means you drag them to where they belong. Over there. And then don't forget to hit submit. So have fun with this. And I will see you on Monday.